This episode of the Red Bull Rant is by the fine patrons that support us through patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. You can support us for the low price of $1 a month, and you can get exclusive content, including a monthly wrap-up for the New York Red Bulls. We want to send a special shout-out to our patrons who support us at $5 a month. That is our producer-level reward. Thank you to Jeremiah Dempster, William Martin, Gwen Rachesco, Clayton John, Chris Adamek, and Maeve Dartinez. Now, on to the show. This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. If you aren't expecting adult language, why even bother listening? Welcome, my friends, to the Show Them Friends. This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. I'm your host, Jason Ipicco.
I'm Pat McDonald.
I'm Truman, and this is episode 391. We back.
We
when
back.
I say we, I mean America. America back.
America. You know it.
Before we get into things, someone wanted to say a little something today.
Yeah, that would be me, Pat. So basically, last week during the show, Jay was just talking about the rules for MLS Next, and a listener brought to my attention that it sounds like I said "yay" in response to the rules. So when they first told me that's what I said, I was like, no, they misheard me. But I went back and listened to it, and that certainly sounds like what I said. So I could just say I'm pretty sure that is not something that comes out of my mouth in my regular day speech. But I ultimately I'm paying more attention to what I say now. When I heard it, I was mortified. I was angry with myself. I truly was. And I just want to apologize to anybody who may have been offended by it. I will certainly make an effort not to say anything like that again, for sure. If I just want to speak to people out there who might be thinking right now, oh, this person is overreacting. They shouldn't have called you out on it. You weren't referring to the gay community. Let me be clear. One, it's okay when certain jokes die. It really is. It is okay when jokes that maybe once upon a time were okay that, probably shouldn't have been, but, that they are no longer okay. And on top of that, Patrick McDonald, do not want that to come out of my mouth in a derogatory fashion. It's lazy. It's not particularly funny. So I actually did thank the person who brought this up to me because ultimately can't correct their mistakes unless they're brought to our attention. So once again, anyone who heard that and was offended, I truly do apologize. It was a really boneheaded slip on my part, and I pray it will never happen again.
Will Smith is on speed dial, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to get slapped.
All right. Let's move on to some lighter
good news. To the good news.
Some lighter stuff. The U.S. has officially qualified for the World Cup. Hooray!
Woohoo! Yay!
All it took was a 2-0 loss at Costa Rica to clinch it, but sure.
Yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah. All right. So the last three matches of the window, or the World Cup qualifying for the U.S., a 0-0 draw at Mexico. That probably should have been a 2-0 win.
Yeah.
A 5-1 win versus Panama at home. And a 0-2 loss at Costa Rica, which to me looks like Costa Rica kind of gave up after the second goal to a degree.
Yeah.
Even though they could have pressed on him, probably could have gotten at least another 1 or 2 more goals.
Yeah.
So the World Cup draw is tomorrow or today, depending on when you're listening to this. The U.S. are drawn into pot number 2, along with Mexico, and Canada is in pot number 4. Costa Rica will have to see if they win their intercontinental playoff, and then I don't know, maybe they'll be in pot 4 as well. I don't know if they made that decision already.
Yeah, all the teams that still are at large will be in pot 4.
Okay, so there you go. And for anybody who doesn't remember how World Cup draws work, because we haven't done this in 8 years,
Ugh.
you take a team out of each pot, and there's your group. So, on the bright side, we don't play Mexico in the group stage.
Indeed. But I don't want to play Canada either.
True, we could get Canada. That's the downside to it. All right, so general thoughts on the U.S. qualifying for the World Cup.
Pat gets to go first, of course.
Cool. I'll go first. Yeah, it was highly satisfying. It's kind of funny. I guess I'm happy Greg Berhalter didn't listen to me about playing a B plus B type team at in Mexico. I mean, they went for it, and that point proved crucial. It's what essentially made last night's match not quite meaningless, but more or less meaningless. And it was highly unlikely we were going to lose 6-0 to Costa Rica, as despite it being a house of horrors for the U.S. down there. I'm pleased. I'm generally pleased with how they played. I mean, I think yesterday it was disappointing. Yes, I mean, I would have liked to have gone out with a bang, exercise those Costa Rica demons. Get a draw or a win down there, but it is what it is. And I think our guys had heavy legs. I think that was quite clear by the way it looked on the field on last night. Not to be surprised how much the starters, the A squad, played these last 3 matches. But I think there's a lot of positives of what we got. I mean, let's not forget these matches missed Weston McKennie, Serginho Dest, Brendan Aronson, Matt Turner, who, to go on some of my negatives, I think probably should be our first choice keeper. That would probably be my biggest negative point would be that I don't think Zach Steffen looked particularly great. I mean, he looked good against Mexico, but the next 2 games, not great. Was poor against Costa Rica. I think if the U.S. intends to make Zach Steffen their first choice keeper, I think next window he needs to either go on loan somewhere where he's going to play regularly or full on transfer. I mean, I don't think it's necessary that stays as Manchester City. I mean, Tim Howard was a hell of a rock between the sticks for us all those years, and he left Manchester United to go to Everton. So, I don't think you need to stay as a backup at Man City to be a great keeper or anything like that. So that's my big hope for this offseason. Obviously, strikers, number 9s, we definitely want someone to get hot. I say put somebody in the Dutch league. That always seems to be good for American strikers. Just any of them. Just put one of them in the Dutch league, have them score at a clip, and then I'll be a striker come Qatar. And I certainly am hoping that we will get some friendlies coming up against some high-quality opponents. I don't think we'll be properly prepared for the World Cup if we just face CONCACAF opponents. I mean, maybe a couple games against Mexico and Canada wouldn't be so bad, but, other teams wouldn't be so great. So that's my hope there. And I had one other point.
The pot.
The pot, yes. Canada got shafted. Give me a break that they are in pot 4. I mean, obviously USA first, glad we're in pot 2. But Canada won the group in CONCACAF, and somehow they're in pot 4. Somehow they're ranked lower than the US and Canada. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Man, I guess they did just lose 2 games in this final leg, but come on, they won the group. Give me a break. I mean, right now, if I'm any team across the world, I do not want to be in the group that has Canada in it, because that pot 4 should be technically a gimme game for your first 2 ranked teams, and Canada is going to be no slouch in this World Cup.
So my thoughts. Great week. Yeah. Could have been better. Christian Pulisic scores a wide open goal. Just all he had to do was put the ball just a little to the right,
Jordan Pefok might have been worse.
Yeah, that was rough too.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, they lost 2-0 in Costa Rica on the 3rd game in less than a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be mad. And again, when you pretty much you got the draw in Mexico, you get the big win at home. That is a game they knew they did not have to win. They just did not have to get annihilated. And there's a little chance that was going to happen. A great performance, right? I don't think anyone's going to care in the long run that the last qualifying game they lost to Costa Rica. No one's going to care.
No.
I mean, the Mexico performance I thought was awesome. Just getting that draw. Anyone who traveled to that game had to have been happy getting out there with a point. So super pumped. We don't have to qualify again until 2028, I believe, which is pretty cool. That's
2030. 2030.
No, 2028 start the qualifying.
Yeah. I guess
actually start playing qualifying games, right? 2028.
And even then, it's going to be much easier to qualify because we'll have more CONCACAF teams in the tournament.
Yeah. Let's hope Belize doesn't go on a Canadian like Rise.
So my thoughts. I'm glad we got it over with. The rankings for the pots. I think this is something I think I've talked about before. The CONCACAF kind of gets fucked over in the FIFA rankings, because I forget the exact way they do it, but basically there's a coefficient that comes from the confederation your opponent plays in. So when CONCACAF has to play itself and the coefficient sucks, it doesn't matter that Canada, they did go undefeated throughout, right? They didn't lose the last game. Did Canada go undefeated throughout qualifying?
No, they lost to Costa Rica and Panama this past window.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, to go through and only lose 2 games out of 14 should be huge. I mean, I'm looking at the rankings right now. They actually fell below Costa Rica. Or they weren't even close enough to fall below them. But, the rankings are such bullshit. They favor.
They mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing.
Well, they mean for the pot.
They favor Europe and South America.
They favor. They help you out with the pots, but yeah, they.
When I say I mean nothing, I mean they're stupid.
How they reach them?
I'm sorry, I apologize. They're dumb.
Yeah, I mean, again, Canada should be the top ranked team in CONCACAF. Yeah, I mean, again, love them. Love that we're in pot too, but let's be frank. Come on.
They should do it sort of the way NCAA does it, where you're top of your thing, you qualify, put all the top confederation, so the top ranking, the best UEFA team during qualifying, the best South American team, the best African, the best Oceania, Asia, the best CONCACAF team, they should automatically go in pot 1. Because if you are the best in your confederation during qualifying, you should deserve in theory, a number 1 seed, which is what pot 1 is supposed to be. I mean, if I understand why you use rankings to try to balance it out, but I mean, it sucks. The rankings suck. They don't really, and there's no real good way to do it, to compare a team in Europe versus a team in America, or CONCACAF. But still. And I think, especially with expanding the World Cup field starting the next cycle, maybe that's a good way of doing it, right? I mean, it gives an incentive now for a team in CONCACAF to try harder, right? Because, we're going from 3 to 5 or 6. I can't remember the number, but we're basically doubling the spots, right? So it's almost guaranteed that the U.S. and Mexico are going to make it every year, unless something drastic happens and we completely bomb.
Yeah.
So that's never happened.
Okay, worse than the last cycle. But give the top of the confederation something, right? Aside from just maybe you get lucky and your ranking is good enough. I mean, Mexico. What was Mexico tied on points with Canada?
No, Canada.
They're still below.
I don't know actually.
But Mexico came close, I think.
Yeah.
At worst, they were 3 points away. Yet Mexico is ranked 9th in the world and Canada is 38th. I mean, where the fuck is the justice in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, they're not really looking at recent results. It's like, we're going to look at the past 25 years of a team's history because it's always the same players.
Mm-hmm. Ridiculous.
So that's my biggest gripe, is just how shit gets seeded. Well, I'm sure they'll find new ways to fuck it up with an expanded field. So,
Of course, there's no perfect way, ultimately.
all right. Any other thoughts on the U.S. qualifying?
Just one thing I kind of forgot to mention is Dave Sarakin, who was the interim coach before Greg Berhalter got hired, had a thankless job. I mean, there was really no hope for him to get promoted, but he is the one who introduced to this team Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Timothy Way, Josh Sargent, Serginho Dest. I mean, I know Sargent has kind of fallen out, but really integral in many ways in the birth of this current team. Which, interesting fun facts, youngest average age for a U.S. team to ever qualify. Apparently youngest average age of teams that have qualified for this current World Cup so far. So very interesting fun facts. And then my final thought is, I think with the level of talent on this team, I do think we can make some noise at this World Cup. I mean, I think they're young. I still think they have things to work out. But, I mean, Gio Reyna, we just saw what he did in cameos this past week. I mean, I can't wait till he's fully healthy and he's a regular starter again, because he is truly one of the most talented players in the pool. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to November, and I'm crossing my fingers we get a game on Thanksgiving, because that would be badass and perfect.
I'm also going to say this. I don't think there's a mega power this year in the World Cup. I don't think there's a team that's just like so far and above. A lot of the going to the World Cup are like, wow, Spain, call it, boom, Brazil. You just knew. I mean, obviously, I think European teams are always great, but I don't see any of them being like so dominating that you couldn't win a game against any of these teams if you play good enough.
All right. Should we move on?
Let's do it.
Yeah, right. So I'm going on this weekend or what?
Yeah. So, real quick, prediction standings. Yes, we didn't have a game, but had to clarify. So I forgot to put it in the show last week. But I was wrong in that Truman did hedge using one forward. However, when I reviewed the tape, he hedged on a 0-0 draw. So he only gets 1 point for the previous game, not 3.
Oh, I didn't hear an apology in there. I'll make this the apology episode.
So I'm sorry for writing the wrong thing down and not listening the first time on how you hedged that previous game.
It smells like a hedge weekend.
All right, so the Red Bulls have a game on Saturday, April 2nd, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Game will be broadcast on MSG and ESPN Plus. Did I say who they're playing? Because I honestly don't remember what I just said, aside from time.
But the Red Bulls are playing.
I said they're playing, right?
Did I say who their opponent was? Because for some reason I can't remember saying that. Well, they're playing New England. Yeah. In New England.
There you go.
So, yeah, let's get into predictions, and I'll be going first. I'm really hoping we buck the trend of losing in New England, but I don't think this is going to happen. There was an article posted on New York Rebels website that said we were off to, I forget the exact phrasing. I think a bright start is how they phrased it. And
wow, bright start. Woo.
Yeah, my response on Reddit was, one goal, none off of missing the penalty kick, and 0 wins in 2 home games means a bright start. I'm hoping. I'm going to predict a loss, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. The only reason I'm predicting loss is because history's against us, but maybe our away form is going to continue, but I don't really see it in this one. I'm going to go with a conservative 1-0 loss. New England, they did just come off of their CONCACAF Champions League choke, but they have had a week to kind of lick that wound. I just don't see us scoring, and I see us continuing our 1 goal given up per game average at this point. So that's where I'm at, 1-0 loss.
There's not a goddamn chance we're winning this game in New England. I don't care. New England's slow start. It's dumbass effing Foxborough. We've won once there and God knows how long. Right now, I'm watching the Devils get absolutely annihilated by the Bruins. So I'm going to say the Red Bulls are going to get annihilated by the Reds. And when I say annihilated, I say a 3-1 loss.
It's funny. I do think this is one of those matches where New England is ripe for the taking. I do think they have a slow start. Matt Turner, I believe, is still out. They certainly seem to be reeling from some of the players they've lost this past offseason. So, I mean, if there was based on the early results of it, for us this season, we're better at playing on the road than we are at home. So I think there is a chance for us to actually get a good result. But I did say a couple weeks ago that whenever I believe in this team, they lose. So I will once again predict a loss. I believe New York Red Bulls will be the big Willie slap in the face, big Willie style, that New England needs to wake up, and we will lose 2-0.
All right, so now the question is does any of us get 3 points? Because I feel like we're all going to get 1.
Most likely.
I think one of us is getting all 3.
All right, we'll see. All right, New York Red Bulls 2. What do you know? They still suck.
Breaking news, they suck.
Yeah, I think we talked about the last game that they played on the last episode. The next one is Saturday at FC Tulsa. So we'll see.
I haven't been watching New York Red Bulls 2, so I mean I'm not an expert. But I just kind of feel like Red Bull wants us to be this fucking talent building organization. So shouldn't they at least be good? Like, fucking Red Bull out.
Oh.
Just wait till we move to MLS Next Pro next year.
Oh, what the worst league.
Or MLS Pro Next, or whatever the
Pro X to the extreme.
MLS XFL brought to you by The Rock. All right. Gotham FC in the Challenge Cup, they had a good week. They had a 1-1 draw at the Washington Spirit, followed up with a 1-0 win at Orlando. So currently sitting with 4 points, number 2 in their group. And their next match is this Sunday versus the North Carolina Courage at home, 3 p.m. The first of 3 straight home games in the Challenge Cup. Hopefully they can use that to their advantage and make it onto the knockout round. All right. With that, it's time for the dumping ground.
I'm the trash man.
Now, I don't have anything in here. Did you guys have anything you want to talk about dumping ground wise?
Big win, Max Verstappen getting Red Bull back in track in Formula One. I was a little worried, but they got back on it. So,
do we need to introduce another segment for you called the Red Bull F1 Report?
Yeah, but you'd have to do it like every other week because now they're off this weekend. So,
okay.
Don't worry. I will keep everyone updated every week after every race. Don't you worry about that.
Dumping ground, St. Peter's, hell of a run in the tournament. Moon Knight, watched the first episode.
Oh, fantastic.
No fucking clue what's going on, but I loved it.
The best part about Moon Knight, it's so insane.
Yeah. So I think that's it for me for dumping ground, because I'm sure the terrible team of the week is going to cover something else we can cover. That's kind of old news, but
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
My addition to this TV watching, even though I showed it to you guys, the trailer to you guys first, and I was behind on it. Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah,
good show. I think I got 4 episodes in so far.
Okay, yeah,
that's
definitely worth it.
Yeah, I got to finish that up.
I think that's it. I don't have anything else for dumping grounds. All right, which means it's time for Pat's betting corner.
Pat's betting corner, the most well-prepared aspect of every episode.
Hey, this is a totally professional show. Remember this.
We're very professional here.
Most professional.
Yeah, let's see which game I like.
Well, we know it's not the Red Bulls. At least there's that.
I like none of them. Okay, great.
Hey, hold on. Do you want to bet on who will be the undisputed WWE champion brother at WrestleMania this weekend?
Let's see. Is Repo Man still around?
Yes, he's actually in the match.
All right, everybody, put your money on Repo Man to win the undisputed WWE Championship this weekend at WrestleMania.
The only match I want to see is Stone Cold. But hopefully he doesn't hurt himself.
Yeah, because the retiree matches have worked out so well the last couple of years.
Yeah, they go great.
Especially for Stone Cold, who's had so many problems. Is WrestleMania available on Peacock since that's where the network moved to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So I can easily check out one match then. All right. So it's time for Truman's terrible team of the week.
That's terrible.
Uh-oh, Staten Island. New Jersey. What are you going to do, guys? You're going to have to pick a new team to root for. You're actually going to probably have to root for the team that actually represents the country you live in. Isn't that crazy?
Country you were born in. What?
Right.
Bizarre.
Wild, because bad news. Italy got knocked out by a country that I think is this big, which is the size of, I just put my fingers together, it's that big. North Macedonia, that's who they got eliminated by.
Fun fact, I think North Macedonia is actual Macedonia, but for some reason they call themselves North Macedonia.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. You got knocked out by them.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. There's so many upset Guidos right now, and that's really why I'm enjoying this. I apologize to all my Italian descent listeners, but just knowing that there's sad, beefed up Guidos out there in Staten Island, it makes my heart just sing.
Oh, yeah. I have so much joy from the years of certain Italian Americans who've bragged to me hey, Italy's better than the United States. That's why we moved for Italy, that good stuff. And while, yes, we missed the last World Cup, and so did you, we at least made this one. So, hey, you were born here. It's not too late. You can come around. You can come back. Buy yourself a red, white, and blue jersey. Finally adopt the country of your birth, and come on. Let's go get the cup in Qatar, huh? Huh? Let's do it.
All right. Anything else before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, don't go to Qatar. Don't go there. Don't go. Watch the games on TV. And then go next
such mixed feelings about that.
Don't go.
Because I largely agree with you, but I also don't want our players playing in front of no fans. So we'll do a lottery. Some of you have to go.
There we go. I'm okay with that. We're going to force people to go.
All right. Let's wrap this one up. You can visit us at patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. $1 a month is all you need for exclusive content, such as monthly wrap-ups, live post games, anything we can do. Speaking of which, tomorrow is April 1st. We should probably talk about a February-March wrap-up at some point.
Oh, yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. You can email us redbullrant@gmail.com. You can call us 973-348-5329. Facebook.com/Red Bull Rant. On Twitter @Red Bull Rant. For the show at Dr. Stooge. For myself at The Truman for Truman. Subscribe to our show via iTunes, Stitcher Radio, YouTube Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. Last words before we get out of here.
I will be shocked and delighted as I go see Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes this Saturday night. And I come home and I get to watch a highly, highly unlikely Red Bulls win.
Red Bulls shock us all, get a win. But more importantly, everybody never forget. We are going to Qatar. We are going to Qatar. We are going to Qatar.
Italy's not.
All right. For Pat, Truman, and myself, this has been episode 391 of the Red Bull Rant. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, go Red Bulls.
Bye-bye.
Let's.